Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line and Talking Points, our weekend review show where we're going to go back over all the best action from the weekend. The gang is back together. Dave is back from hospital. How are we, Dave? Looking well?
Yeah, thanks. I'm a bit tired, but I'm all right. Glad to be out of prison.
Yeah, you spent a good 3 weeks for crimes you didn't commit.
Yeah, it was nearly a month. It was 24 full days in hospital, so it wasn't at all fun in any description.
How are you feeling now, though?
I should have to do a little bit more than I was doing in hospital. I was just lying in bed or sitting on a chair in hospital, so a little bit more tired. But it's going to be months before I get back to normal. So I was told to take 3 months off work, but like we're in lockdown, it's probably going to last 3 months. So that kind of worked out a little bit. But the general consensus is it will take 6 to 12 months before I know kind of what level of function I will have back, if any, and if I need any more treatment or whatever. The other side of it is they thought I was going to need heart surgery, and I could have been living up in Dublin for months in that little dingy room, and I got out of there in 24 days, so that's pretty good.
That's good going.
Yeah, sure. I think everybody knows I don't like to follow the rules, so.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell that whatsoever. I'd say you cause absolute havoc up there.
I did the last 2 days. Yeah, I was starting to come back to normal. Well, not normal, but because I was resting so much, it was coming back to myself. Like, I'm a bit more tired since I came home, obviously doing a bit more for myself and doing a bit of walking and whatnot. But yeah, I had a few rows up there.
That's it, isn't it? That I've done a couple of stints, not as long as that in hospital, but you don't really care when you're sick. When you're that sick to be in hospital, you don't care. You know you're starting to get better when you start like complaining and noticing things that are bothering you that weren't bothering you the week before. Like so,
I think I told Andrew the care up in the Matter in Dublin was just second to none, and the meds and the way they treated me got me back around after going into Waterford, and coming out of Waterford I was fairly in a bad way, like hence the thoughts of
things
they needed to do in Dublin. But the last 2 days in Dublin I was out on a ward, so they let me come out of that kind of ICU room, because there's an emergency needed it. And at that stage I was pretty much all right. Like, I was just resting and lying in bed and sitting on the chair. But then I go to the ward, and it was grand. There's 5 other people there, like any normal kind of hospital ward. And I woke up the next morning, and like I could hear the nurses saying, "Oh, we need to close the door in the room, and we need to put a sign up, and this thing and that thing." Like, and I'm obviously well aware of what's going on. Like, and next minute the nurse comes in like full scrubs and full coronavirus gear, and I was like, "You've got to be fucking shitting me now." And she's like, "Oh, I'm just wearing this because one of the guys has a temperature." And I was like, "Yeah, well, why is the door closed? You're not allowed out." Right, I was like, okay, so I sat there for an hour, and some of the lads tried to go out, and they're told, "Oh, you can't leave." So I goes out anyway, and the head nurse in the Navy comes over, and fair enough, I was probably a little bit rude to her, but at this stage I just wanted to go home. This was Wednesday. I wanted to go home. I was feeling better, and if someone with COVID was in the ward with me, I was fucking flipping out, right? So I opened the door, and she's like, "Can't come out." I said, "No, but you may tell me why." "Oh, there's a suspected COVID case in the room." I said, "Oh, that's fairly smart, isn't it?" She's like, "What do you mean?" "I said, there's 5 fucking other heart patients in the room, but we'll just stay in there and die, will we?" She's like, "Oh, well, your contacts now because you slept there last night." I said, "Well, how does that make any sense? That's a prime example of why this thing is spreading. Just keep him in there. The 5 of us will stay in there and make friends with him. And sure, we'll all die tomorrow when he gets his COVID test back." And she's like, and I was like, "Well, tell you what this thing now is. I'm feeling better. and I'm getting the fuck out of here Friday, and you're not fucking stopping me. And then it goes, and also, this is fucking ridiculous. I'm fucked off with it. I'll wait for tomorrow, but I'm getting out of here tomorrow. And had the same row Thursday morning, and 5 minutes later, the room was opened, and I was strolling around the hospital again.
Now, I know Dave really well. That was the nice version he just told you there.
No wonder you didn't get your pizza or your salad, whatever it was.
They were definitely munching on that.
To be honest, I was still a little bit peed off over that, and it probably all came out on that nurse who I'd only met that morning, like, because she wasn't in the other room. She's working on that ward, but she got the brunt of all the 24 days of hell. So kind of sorry, but also kind of not sorry, because you left me in the ward where you thought there was someone with COVID, and I could have fucking been still there.
Well, it's good to have you back anyway at home.
So she's definitely after leaving?
I literally cannot put on weight either. Like, I had so much food yesterday, and I was just... I lost weight again this morning.
I have great tips for that, Dave.
That
pal.
Weight
on. Dead easy.
If you see me walking,
that and wine combined is a great combination.
Yeah.
Where me and Andrew live, like, Andrew's up the road, but there's a little playground. So this morning and yesterday, like, I just walked out and walked up around the playground and back. It's about 1,500 steps. You see how slow I am. Someone waved at me today and they were like, "What the hell is he doing?" I was like, my hood up going, what is going on? But sure, look, at the end of the day, like I said, pretty much lucky to be alive, so we'll take it as it comes from now on.
Look, 3 weeks ago, we're looking like you're in a bad place and you're home a lot better, so it's all good. Thank God.
Back in business.
Now
the dog is on the couch here and she's after falling down between the couch and the cushion.
Goner. Right, we get into it. Right, we may as well start with today. What happened today, since it's fresh in memory? We'll start with Envoi Allen's race. The excitement lasted a whole of... That dog is dead. What is going on?
Do you like cats, Dave? Let me see if I got any cats around.
Yeah, it's probably running around the house with a mouse.
I'm just going to address two things really quickly. Number one, this is not a Make America Great hat. Make America Great Again hat is a Munster rugby hat. Okay, people in the comments. And I'm in my parents' house. I'm not flaunting COVID rules. My dad's had a small operation. He's absolutely fine, but my mom had to go with him, so I'd look after my nan. Had to get a COVID test on Friday. Not fun.
I got 4 in the hospital. 4 of them. And still, when I get up in the morning, I have to blow my nose and blood comes out my nose. It is literally horrible. I said it to a few people. I've got a good few of them now with this sickness and they're thinking it was COVID and stuff. I just don't understand in this day and age how they don't have a better way than sticking something into your fucking brain. Like,
she pulls it out and she says to me, "Now there's tissues there if you need to sneeze." I was like, "How do you not sneeze?" So I'm sneezing everywhere then. And these two women are looking at each other like, "Get the hell away from me, pal."
Glad I didn't have to get one yet anyway. Sounds awful.
It is horrible. Like, the one I got in the Mater Hospital was probably the worst. And that particular day, I was like upset being up there. My world was crumbling, realizing I was stuck in a little room. He sticks this thing up, the tears start coming out my eyes. He's like, "It's okay, that happens to everybody." I was like, "Please leave the room, man. Just leave the room."
I don't want to see you like this. Oh, look at me. Right. Envoi Allen. Excitement lasts for the whole 6 seconds before Styrian Phalange does best and falls over fences. Look, we had a big discussion about this in the group for about a good half an hour after the race. First off, what did you make of it? We learned nothing. It may as well have been a bloody hack canter schooling session up in Gordon's.
No, I think me and Tom are on the same wavelength with this. And I really think Envoi Allen's a class horse, but the same as what me, yourself, and Tom were talking about earlier, he's really only beaten substandard horses for the grade. I would love to see him face Styrian for Lodge, but I don't even know what to do with that horse now because he's an absolute looney tune. He's becoming even more crazy than Lammy Surgeon. I didn't know if that was possible, but there you go. But I just love to see him have a race against proper grade 1 horses, or even grade 2 decent horses, giving the weight away. He's going to win the Marsh probably the same way he did today. Nothing will challenge him, and then it's next year that you'll see where he stands then, kind of in open company. I know loads of people think he's the best horse in training. To me, the best horse in training is the horse that beats the other best horses in training, and Envoi Allen hasn't done that yet. He's class. I knew they'd probably shorten him today, even though he beat nothing. It was like he could have done that down in Gordon Elliott stable. But yeah, I just love to see him have a race. I'd love to see him go against Monkfish, our latest exhibition, and test himself over 3 miles, but it's probably unlikely to happen until next year.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. He's beating, but he's doing it in second gear, really. Jack was doing nothing on him. He jumped the last. That thing went upside him. He literally gave him a squeeze. He was gone 6 lengths in the space of a second.
I totally agree. I just love to see him fully tested.
Yeah,
I don't know how you can even, what kind of rating you can even judge him to run to with what he's beating.
This is the thing, I think.
Do you know what Racing Post rating he got today?
What?
Have a guess.
151.
Dave?
160.
165.
For doing that. How did they
pull that out of their arse?
This is my quibble with ratings. I never get them. I don't understand where they pull these numbers out of their arse. It just don't make sense for half the horses they do. I'm biggest Envoi Allen fan. That was a bloody hack canter up the Gallop schooling session. Second, the Styrian Flange went. Yeah, he's beat nothing really, and he's doing it in his own time. Would I love to see himself in Monkfish and latest exhibition? Of course it would. Who wouldn't? It'd be one of the best races this season, which today should have been as well, giving away that much weight. I think the better race he's in, the better he's going to be. If you take last season's Ballymore, that's the best race he ever ran in. There's a lot of winners out because there's a few grade 1 winners after coming out for over fences, like Sham Blues had coming out and be very good over fences. The big getaway, the big breakaway. It's like Easy Works was in it as well. I get why you're saying that he's not been tested, but I think when he gets tested, I think we're going to see a total different animal. I think he's going to be far better than we all think he is. But myself and Tom were talking about this earlier today. What will he run in next year? The Gold Cup is the aim. Yeah, I agreed with Tom when he said he'd probably end up in a Ryanair. I'm not convinced he wants 3-2 around Cheltenham.
It's what I was saying earlier between us was I just think it's hard. Now look, I'll start off by I love the horse. If you're a trainer and if you're a jockey, he is the perfect horse. He settles, he travels, he jumps, he quickens, he just does everything perfect. Like you'd hear trainers saying, like these big flashy horses who pull the jockey's arms out, go win by fucking 50 lengths. The majority of them don't last. There are some exceptions to the rule, but the majority of them don't last. This lad is going to have longevity if he keeps going and doesn't get injured at home anyway, because he just does everything perfectly. Now, the form of his Ballymore win is good. That was a good race he ran in there, and he did it very nicely. So I'm not saying he won't, but the minute he's won a grade 1 over fences and a grade 3 now, and look, in my book, he probably hasn't beaten too much. I certainly don't think he ran to a rate of 165 today at all. Yes, he gave Fields Dudaris £10, but I can't see Fields Dudaris being more than a 140, 142 horse. Look, yeah. My thing with you, Andrew, was I was saying he's run against not a lot now over fences. You'd imagine they're going to dodge him at Cheltenham. He's nothing really then to beat at Punchestown, and that's him done for the year. So you start off next year, and what are you going to do? Are you going to campaign him for Ryanair? I presume that's not the plan. So he's going to have to step up and trip and step into open company all at the same time. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it's probably going to be pretty hard. There's going to be some battle-hardened horses out there who are a lot more battle-hardened than he is.
Look,
I hope he's a superstar. I hope he never gets beat. And there is a chance that that'll happen. But, yeah, I don't know. He's got to go do a bit more over fences. But in fairness to the horse and in fairness to Gordon Elliott, you can only beat what's there. Like, he took a chance today. He ran him in a grade 3 with a £10 penalty against a proper horse and a Styrian phalange. I know it didn't work out because he just loses his mind sometimes, that lad. But
all Gordon, the time at the moment.
Oh, yeah, at the minute he does. But Gordon took a chance running them, I think, anyway. And fair play to him. Like, you can only beat what's there. So.
Yeah, this is my kind of quaffle with him. It's not like he's dodging horses at all. Gordon could have easily took him out of that saying, I'm not giving £11 to the Styrian phalange. I
wouldn't have fancied that as a trainer.
But that's like, he's not getting the credit. I know he ended up beating up, but he's not getting... It's coming across that he's dodging horses where it's everyone else dodging him.
I'll be honest, I wanted him to beat a Styrian today, giving him the £11 the way he beat the other horse today.
It didn't matter who, like, he was the second go on.
I just want him to beat, like, not even top class horse, but a Styrian, like, giving that he's a grade 1 winner over hurdles and his form is decent. Giving him £11. Like, it's no secret my 2 favorite horses are Denman and Big Bucks, and it's because they danced every dance. They took on all the horses. They gave weight away. Everything at times was against them, and they still won. Like, I would love Envoi Allen to end up being that type of horse, but at the moment he's just beating nothing.
But when it comes, I know, but if you
beat that type of horse, Dave?
I think no matter what he runs against, I think he doesn't. There's no people aren't latching onto him because he's not winning by half the track, beating horses like that. He's always going to win by 5 to 6 lengths. The second the Styrian phalange fell, I put into the group, he's only going to win by about 4 or 5 lengths. He's never going to just take off and go. He's too smart. He knows his job. Sure, when the horse came up to him after he jumped the last, he gave him a little squeeze. He went off, looked like he was going to sprint away. He just went off and just plodded along then to the line. I think he just wants a bit of company and he'll go again. I think the better race he runs in, the better you're going to see of him. So, yeah, I 100% I want to see him run against the best horses around. Will we see it this year? No, not a chance. Will we see it next year? Yeah, because he'll have to go, say, have a prep run, something like the Clonmel Lion Chase. Then he's going to have to go to the Savills or something like that to test himself. And hopefully he ends up being as good as we hope he is, or not better. Because as Tom said, he's going to go against some battle-hardened horses. And the likes of Monkfish will probably end up going there. Later section division, you'll have the likes of Delta Work and all them turning up. And probably A Plutard as well. There's going to be a lot of top-class horses going. And look, I can't wait for it. I know we're talking next, December. But look, we're in a golden era of staying chasers, and look, we got to enjoy him for what he is.
Might be able to get to a race course by then.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold you, Brett.
Next December?
Not a chance.
No.
Right, touching on this Styrian. What the hell do you do with him now? Send him back over hurdles. Because I watched it back and I listened to Ruby on the replay, and it was the stride was there. David done everything he wanted, and the horse just didn't listen. He's a tick fucker, in other words, the horse. He goes in that category of stupid.
He is, though, right? And I don't like staggering off horses or whatever, but like to do what he did last year, there's no physical problem with him from what the Mullins camp say anyway. So to run out your right like that over hurdles is just being stupid. And his 2 falls this year, I said in our group, like, you can't say he's a bad jumper. He's just stupid. Like, he fell... And to me, what I think it is, I think he's one of those, he needs a Ruby. and that's no disrespect to any of the other jockeys who've ridden him. Ruby used to sit there, and he'd sit and he'd let the horse do the jumping.
Yeah.
And he'd just sit there, he's very tight and very still, and he'd let the horse do the jumping. The 2 times he's fallen now, he's been asked to come up and he's put down and he's fallen. Like Paul asked him to come up at Limerick, and that was from memory, that was nearly the first fence he asked him to come up from, and he didn't come up at all. Danny asked him to come up today, and he just didn't come up at all, and didn't know what to do. It's like he doesn't know what to do when his jockey asks him to come up.
He loses the head when he's asked to jump. Now he leads, so it might sound silly, but I would put some sort of headgear on him to keep him concentrating, and stop going weaving in and out like he does, because even when he goes right-handed, he still weaves a bit left and right. It's like he doesn't pay attention. I'd put headgear on him, I'd leave him lead like they have been doing, and I'd ride him like Master Tommy Tucker, like Tom was saying. I wouldn't ask him ever for a jump unless I'm full sure the race is over, or like even Master Tommy Tucker, they sat on him the whole way around Kempton the last day, asked him for 1 jump and he nearly fell. I'd leave him figure it out on his own for the next 2 or 3 races until you're confident that he's going to jump for you and not fall or put in an extra stride, but he clearly wants to do it his own way, so I just leave him do it his own way.
Yeah, is he smart enough though? That's the problem. How smart? He's not. He wasn't smart enough to sort his feet out at the first fence. All he had to do was he went straight into the bottom of it.
That's because he was asked though. Horses generally
the same.
You know as well as I do. When you ask him this, it's when you see the perfect stride and this is correct distance away. 99% out of the time they're just going to pop away.
Yeah,
it's nearly the same.
He is very similar to that Master Tommy Tucker, and you just need to leave him alone and let him do his own thing. He needs to go right-handed. I wouldn't run him at Cheltenham. I'd forget that now.
Yeah.
I would aim him for one of the grade ones at Fairyhouse, and I would try and get a run into him somewhere right-handed before then. That would be my plan.
You need to drop him down in class to get him to do that, because if he goes back into grade ones, he's not going to win a grade 1 just popping away. They need to actually get to the bottom, get his confidence going. As you said, drop him down in class, get him very winnable races where he doesn't really need to be asked to do much. And then once push comes to shove in the grade 1s, he has to be learned by then. Start listening to what the jockey's asking you, because he's not going to win going around like that.
I would try find an easy race for him. I'd ditch Cheltenham and try and get his confidence back up and try let him figure it out himself. And then, like Tom said, the grade 1 at Fairyhouse, the album photo 1 as a novice, or go to Punchestown then, but definitely not going left-handed. And you just can't do like Richard Johnson and ask him for a stride, because he's just not going to do it. Like,
look, there's no doubt the talent is there. He's hugely talented. He's just stupid.
It's not even. I see a few people saying about like popping, leaving pop. It's not about leaving him get in and make mistakes and lose length. At Limerick, I thought he was bloody good until he fell. And Master Tommy Tucker has won a grade 2 and absolutely bolted up by just being left alone. It's just a case of like Jack Kennedy does it on Envoi Allen most of the time. Just long reins, puts his hands down, squeezes his legs, and just lets the horse go in and sort itself out. That's what we're on about. It's not letting a horse make mistakes. It's just not firing him offences.
Learning his job, more or less.
Yeah. I wouldn't fancy riding him next time, though.
No, Jesus Christ. No.
If he does it once more, he might just shoot straight out to one of my favourite horses ever, because I just love seeing it. Just absolute loon bag. I was sitting on the couch here and I was really hoping for a decent race today, and I literally started cackling when he fell. Oh, it's like I was
writing something down and I was looking straight up and I seen him. I was like, I fucking knew this was going to happen. I was so excited for this and everything. Fucking stupid.
And
great,
man. He just went off like a lunatic then for 2 circuits, just running around, jumping everything, and
giving bloody Jack Kennedy heart attacks.
Andrew, before
Yes.
we move on to the next race, someone's just put a question in right down at the bottom there. And I can't believe you were so excited about your beloved Envoi Allen that you forgot about it.
No, I was going through that. Look,
It's on the list, is it?
it's on the list there, circled.
Okay, we'll come back to Shona.
No, go on. We talk about Shauna since we're talking about it now.
Yeah, ran a blinder again, didn't she?
Yeah.
Travelled into it, jumped well, made a few little errors, but nothing. She doesn't lose any lengths at her hurdles, which is great. Travelled into it like a dream. She is very smart, yeah. She travelled into it like a dream, and the two mares just quickened away from her, and Rachel just looked after her then once she was beat. But the two that won are very good. They're graded mares. Global Equity has already been placed in a heap of graded and listed races, so no shame in that. Another run of the maiden now. We'll see if we can win one, and if we can't, we'll go handicapping. But lots to look forward to.
Step up and trip, let her bowl along, burn them off in the front.
Yeah, I'd say for the next run, I'd say we might stick at around 2 miles, but I wouldn't be surprised if she needed further. And I think her thing is that she just gallops.
Yeah.
So I think, if she goes from the front, once she's got a bit more jumping experience.
Has she formed on good ground?
Forming all ground, yeah. She's won on good, one on heavy, so she'd do anything really. She's really versatile. It's one of the reasons we liked her. So lots to look forward to.
One good boy onto another. How was the other horse getting on? McPhees.
McPhees arrived at Henry's on Thursday or Friday. Is very good. He's going to have another few weeks off and then go back into training with a view to running. I don't know, shortly afterwards. He shouldn't take too long either to get back to the track. There's still, I think there's between 7.5% and 10% left in him. So there's only a couple of shares. If anybody wants one, give me a shout. 80. The horse, this was it. This
horse could end up being a lot better than Sean. There's a lot of potential in this show.
Well, he's rated 80 and he's 4. He's just turned 4, and Sean's rated 58 and flat now. Sean being rated 58 and flat is a thing for another day. I can't
tell people about our plans. Shush.
Yeah, she should pay the bills hopefully on the flat anyway. So but no, McPhees is rated 80. He's a 3-year-old who's just turned 4 now, start January. But his trainer retired on the 31st of December, and the first runner out of her yard to a different trainer was backed 10-1 into something like 5-2 at Chantilly on Saturday and won very well. So we are really looking forward to him with Henry. That he's an 80 rated horse already on the flat, and he's loads of scope. So
read between the lines. When McPhees runs first time out for Henry de Bromhead, have your mortgage on it. Tom's word, not mine.
Jesus Christ!
I'm only messing.
You're going to get me shot. People are going to come find me and kill me. I tell you.
It's your words. I'm only translating for him.
No, he'll be a nice horse. I've no worries about him as well.
Are you allowed to talk about the one in the pipeline yet?
No.
Wait here about this when he's allowed.
There's one in the pipeline that we have to work out. You know how we're going to sort it out yet, but and just got to make sure we can get everything sorted. But yeah. You know
when I say this horse is going to Shetland, this one might actually end up going to Shetland.
Well, her brothers might anyway, which is her brothers definitely will.
Her brothers might have run in Cheltenham already. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the Grade 2 hurdle where, what is it? 8:30 at night. I still can't get my head around how this thing drifted from 9-2 to 22-1 and pissed in. The real deal.
McNally said he didn't have a gallop or anything before the race. He had a...
Yeah, he had something else. Yeah, he had something.
He was off his feed. He couldn't gallop because his gallop was frozen. He went to the beach, that was frozen, so he couldn't.
Have you ever heard so much bollocks in your life? If he can't eat, gallop, trot, or on a beach, how the fuck are you winning that? Sorry now. What?
He didn't even come out of second gear because he didn't even get whipped or anything like.
Sorry, no, this is the biggest mystery of the year so far. of 2020 moving into 2021. Can't wrap my head around how this horse is suddenly rated. What was he? 82 or 84?
84. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, look, credit where it's due. He did some job with him. But
he genuinely has a chance to win one of the novice hurdles at Cheltenham now. Like.
Oh, he's 16 to 1 best price for the Supreme now.
Couldn't have wrote that. It's like Princess Zoe over jumps, basically.
I don't know what to say about it. The race has a good history of producing decent horses, but I'd say he'd make a decent chaser as well. He's quite big.
He is. He's massive.
He is very big. What chance did you give him now going to Cheltenham? Was it you, Dave, saying that he was avoiding Appreciators?
Yeah, he said in an interview, I think a week or two ago, that he'd avoid Appreciators. And he has the option of the 2 miles or the 2 mile 6 at Dublin Racing Festival, but he'd be avoiding Appreciated. So if that's the case, he'll be going to the Ballymore. That's why I text you guys at 66 to 1 for the Ballymore, because one of the lads put it into the group, but I think he's down to like 16 to 1 for the Ballymore now as well. So
Tom, I can you train horses. Like, what does it take to get a horse in that short space of time to just improve like that? And one that doesn't eat or gallop. Like,
it's sake, it's live, Dave. We can't even edit it. Like, we can edit it.
Like, it's. I'm not suggesting that or anything. Like,
with the pain,
I'm not suggesting that. How? Like,
it depends how fit it was when it was having its maiden hurdle runs, and I would say it was not very fit at all.
Like, Dave hasn't eaten for 3 weeks, and he can barely walk around the playground. This thing hasn't eaten and is winning a grade 2.
And I must have met 25 doctors in the time that I was in the hospital, and every one of them asked me did I take steroids, and that's what was wrong with my heart. So I'm fucking sick of people asking that now.
There we go.
Look, joking aside, it can't be anything illegal, because you know your horse is going to get tested, right?
Yeah, we thought that with Dunwood as well.
But all the horses get tested, and they all get tested the same. You know, like Jim Bolger came out about this. There are some things you can use, some things you can't use. Some things that come up in a test, some things that don't come up in a test.
There you go.
And you know what you can and you can't use. So he's not stupid. He's not going to go and do that. So, like everyone, that's the first thing you go to. Oh, it must be something to do that. It's not. It's not. I would suggest that he handicapped it very well. Make what you want.
It doing a grade 2.
Make it what you want about that. Like, make it what you want about how it was back 25s into 6 to 4 to win. To win the first time that it was in handicap or whatever you want to say about it. But yeah, look, it's one of those things. It doesn't look great. At least Princess Zoe came from a different yard to Tony Mullins.
He's had her since a point-to-point days, hasn't he?
I think he bought it after it was second or won its point-to-point. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, well, look, the cat's out of the bag now because it's a grade 1 horse anyway.
Look,
it's still both up on the flat. I mean.
Look, all joking aside, if I'm not saying this, it's unbelievable even training for performance from a trainer so small to get a horse to improve from 84 up to what's he right now, 150 something,
141. So he's going to be a high 140s anyway.
Yeah, hit one for whatever he is up to now. That's all joking aside, that's unbelievable training performance for a yard so small.
Yeah,
everyone is baffled. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
Anything out the back? I say out the back, but take out of it for going forward. Gabanaki.
I thought Ganapathy, is it, or whatever? However you say it.
Whatever. Yeah. They look back.
It came there to win its race and did everything right, and just got beaten by a better horse in the day, really. But no, that was a decent enough performance.
Can't see any trouble, any of the grade ones at Cheltenham anyway.
Rain is a lunatic, but no.
She did well to finish so far, so close to him after going absolutely ridiculous gallop.
She reminds me of Stormy Ireland when she first came to Willie's, just lunatic. Like the clappers.
She'd win a few races, that one. She decides to settle a bit. Right, we'll move on. Well, I'll move on. We'll move back to Saturday. Where will we start? We start with Next Destination. Winning the Grade 2 Novice Chase, beating Fiddler on the Roof and Golden Fortune back in the third. I really liked his performance. I liked the ride Harry Cobden gave him for a novice. Absolutely chucked him at every fence and answered every question he gave him. And I liked his little move on the turning where he cut off Fiddler on the Roof at the rail. I think he's ideal 4-miler, jumps well, stays all day, look beat down the back straight. Where would you go with him next? Good performance. And Fiddler on the Roof, where'd you go next with him?
4-miler for Next Destination. If he came up against Latest Exhibition or Monkfish in the RSA, he'd be beaten by about 40 lengths. I don't know what to do with Fiddler on the Roof. Go for a handicap or something. But he broke a blood vessel anyway, so when they start breaking blood vessels, that's the end.
Who?
Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof broke blood vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the winner like just jumped. He's very slow. He's a horse now. Like everyone is focused at Cheltenham, and yeah, I don't know. He's a horse maybe for one of those real long distance races in England. Maybe one of those national races.
Welsh National next year.
Yeah, or Scottish National, something like that. He's clearly got a lot of ability, and he just jumps very well and gallops all day long. So, yeah, I'm looking at him something like that next year.
He was only getting going after he jumped the last. Like he pulled away and it won going away. I like we're taught in Cheltenham. I know we always do, but I think for the whatever national hunt chase is ideal. And then what you said there, the Scottish national fucking. Paul Nichols loves that race.
Yeah, so Vincente won it for him a few times. That's actually a good shout, Tom.
Maybe an idea. That's well done, Tom. That's why you get paid the big bucks.
Invoiced in the post.
Next year, please, Doc. Right, move on to the Grade 2 hurdle. This was a good little race. A bunch finished with Admiral. Mint condition, Make Me a Believer, who myself and Tom liked first. Ran a good race, had every chance to win, but the Admiral fairly tough.
I would have tipped up the winner of this if I had been on the.
Lord, you would have.
Adramel, not Ad. What did you call him?
Admiral.
No, it's Adramel.
That's what I said. Admiral.
No, you said Admiral.
Who cares?
Do you know what that?
I missed for the last 3 weeks, fucking correcting everything I say.
I seen one of they were talking about French names and. Andrew Blair White was trying to help you pronounce it as well. I think he just gave up at one stage.
What horse was that?
I can't remember.
Hogri?
I'm back now for the French pronunciations. But that Grade 2 race, there's usually a decent horse wins that. I think he's a good horse, that Adramel. I think there's a few good horses in it, to be honest.
His trainer Tom Lacey was saying they might put him away now for next year after that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. They don't all have to go to Cheltenham. Like, it's not the be all and end all the time for kind of long distance hurdlers anyway. But he's a good horse. He definitely wants fences as well. Especially
as a novice, it's novice hurdler per se. Ballymore, when you look at it, if your horse like Admiral, whatever the hell he's called, you have me flustered. Adramel, you have me flustered now, man.
There you go.
If it's not to be when you look at the Ballymore with the race he probably will go for, you're looking at, am I better than Brave Man Game? Am I better than Bob Ollinger? Am I better than Appreciate if he runs there? Probably not.
No.
So will I put him away being that he is a chase? Yeah, you'd probably skip it and you might think, I see how he is, we might go Aintree. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, look, best of luck to them if they want to put them away. I wouldn't look at doing that at all. It's probably be a wise move if you think it's more of a horse of the future. The one I'm going to take from this is Make Me a Believer. I just thought he gallops all day long. Looked like he was going to get beat and just kept on all the way to the line. He's actually a horse. I was just looking at his pedigree there. He is a half brother to King Rose, that lunatic that Harry Fry used to have, which probably didn't help his stand. He was a 2.5 mile horse. But the dam is a half sister to Cuban Pete, who's a staying chaser. So there's every chance there that he could get 3 miles. And, one for the Albert Bartlett that might just go underrated.
What the fuck?
Fuck yeah.
Say hello now.
Oh, brilliant. Have the mouse.
Come on. Animal cruelty in the show. What's up?
This is one of them viral videos where this thing just latches onto your face.
This is my cat. This one's Sooty. You see his tail?
Your dog doesn't give a shit.
Good boy. Anyway, maybe a believer. Yeah, for the he's coming
Brilliant.
Okay, you're gonna have to get down now, pal.
Oh, I'm not happy.
Not happy at all. Robbie Corcoran, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep an eye on Baby Believer. I'm just gonna check what price is actually for that. Because I saw him all day long. He's won at Cheltenham already, and yeah, I wouldn't be put off by him.
Yeah, I backed him on Saturday, and turning in, it looked like he was going to finish 5th or 6th at best. Like he was coming back at the finish. He's only beaten 2 next back in the 3rd. That's not a bad show at all, especially with the way it's not a vintage Albert Bartlett this year, and he could be the ideal type to just grinds it out.
Yeah, his form at his last 2 runs last season, say, and the season before behind Bear Grylls and then beating Everglow, like that's good form. He's run to another good level again at the weekend. So yeah, he'd interest me for that race.
Not a bad show. Right, move on. The Classic Chase over 3 mile 5.5 furlongs. Not a chance one at 5-2. Achilles finished like a train, a half length behind. Dave's favourite horse was 3rd, and Captain Chaos was 4th.
Who's my favourite horse?
The fucking LeBroy. You love him. I know, that's why I said it.
I can't understand how people think he's going to win. Like, he's just not going to win ever. Like,
he just keeps running on.
The cat's back. The only time he's going to win is the time I picked him out of Cheltenham, Andrew. That's it. Like, it's over now. Like,
he's done. Retire him. Send him off in Packers.
He's so ungenuine. Like, Jamie Codd did everything in his power to get that horse up at Cheltenham that time. He's so ungenuine. I see him running on at the end. Like, why can he do that? I can do that 2 furlongs previously. Like,
he looked like he was well beaten, and then he started powering on again. Is it the fact that is it the fact that he probably needs at least 4 miles minimum now these days? Because his only proper win was over 4 miles.
He needs 4 miles. He needs to be ridden handy. He can't be let like sulk or anything. Like, Jamie Carr gave him the perfect ride that time at Cheltenham. He had him up the front the whole time. He was pushed along for forever as well, but he kept him interested at least. Like, but he's definitely talented, but he's just a fruitcake. Another one of these horses that's never going to win. Like,
what do you reckon, Tom?
Just needs about 8 miles, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't know. I took a chance that the stable had been out of form and he'd shown a bit and the stable were back in form. Yeah. It's not also interest me again anyway. He's had his chance.
No. The winner, not a chance. Apparently, Alan King's not a fan of the National. They're skipping it altogether. Talk from going to different nationals. Scottish National is on the cards for him. Won it well, but was kind of tying up in the end. Achilles ran a great race. What would you make of his chances up in AR? Anybody?
I didn't like the race at all. I thought it was shite.
I think the winner's quite useful, and Kitty ran well. But yeah, that's not my forte anyway. Those long distance races.
I love them. But anyway, right, we'll move. That's what else we have to mention. The mayor's listed bumper. I leaned over.
I bent over.
I was waiting for.
Oh, it's classic. I love it. I just yeah.
3 weeks of non-talk like that, and he's back, and he's made. We were coming a fairly respect. No, we weren't. We weren't. Let's be honest about it.
No. That horse is
very respectful. I came on the other day, and Andrew Blair White was drinking Heineken, and I stuck in isolation in the hospital. I was
mean. That was mean. I wouldn't even know that.
Yeah, that horse an aeroplane, lads. Absolute aeroplane. Didn't even get the best
for me, actually.
I didn't think she got the best of rides either. He came wide and whatever, and she's an aeroplane. Yeah.
Very good. Do you, obvious question again, do you go Cheltenham?
She wasn't, not that she wasn't interested. I wouldn't say she's going to bring her to Cheltenham.
The Aintree bumper.
Probably the Aintree bumper, yeah. She said she was going to talk to her son about it. But I think they're on about going back to the flat as well. And getting black type on the flat, and like they've a huge breeding operation. So I think there's more days. You never see this mare on hurdles. I don't think. She'd buy Canford Cliffs as well. You wouldn't think she'd stay 2 miles on heavy ground and bolt up like that. Right?
I just think her name is brilliant. I leaned over.
I bent over.
I wonder if she when she has a baby, will they call it? I should have stayed standing.
I should have kept my pants up.
It's a really good pedigree as well, because the dams are half listed to. No, the dam is out of Speciosa. So
she was second in the Guineas.
She won the Guineas.
Did she win it?
Yeah. So
3 weeks away, and your knowledge is gone, Dave.
Cheveley Park horse.
No, Pam Slide.
Who? No, Speciosa. Was she in the same colours as I leaned over then?
Yes, yeah, same family. They own all of them.
I'm thinking of a different horse.
This mare is worth a lot of money, so you won't see her jumping any jumps. Put it that way.
Tom, question for you, right? We're staying at Warwick. We'll go back to Warwick. The Pertemps qualifier. These are your kind of races. What did you pick out? Surely something that's either sneak, dropping into sixth, that's either catching your eye. Anything, or the winner.
It was look.
Tom.
No, with those two fatalities, it really took the. It really took the gloss off of most of the weekend, really, and then bloody.
Poor Mohamed as well.
Who?
Mohamed.
Yeah. I thought the winner won well. I think the winner is a good horse.
Imperial Alcazar is a good horse, and if there was one I was going to take out of it, it probably is the winner, which you never say in these things. But like Kepage and To Be Fair qualified for this, and they were beaten 30 lengths. So I wouldn't be reading too much into who finished fifth, who finished sixth. If there was one horse to take out, it would be the winner for me.
I could be wrong in saying. Go on. I could be wrong in saying this now. I think Fergal O'Brien came out and said this is one of our best hurdlers.
He won it well, but he still looked really green. He was looking around himself at everything in front and stuff. I think he's a good horse.
Yeah, he's a good horse, I'd say.
Yeah. Right. Not much more to talk about, really.
Oh, there is. Starting with... Well, I think the main thing to talk about. Well, Chatham Street lad, his bubble has burst.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot to turn my page. Apologies. Go on. Yeah.
He's probably looks like still a fair handicapper, but it doesn't look like a Grade 1 horse now. Anyway, the winner of the Beginner's Chase on Saturday as well was interesting to say the least.
I'm trying to get there now. Which one? Oh, yeah.
I'd say they did not want to finish there. Well, mind you, they probably did because they'd finish. So they'd run to Racing Post ratings over fences of 99 and 47. 88-day break, first time tongue tie, Racing Post rating 145. Interesting, that one.
Interesting.
Interesting. So you have to see what handicap mark that gets now. But I would imagine the UK handicapper is going to annihilate it. So, don't hold your breath there. Port Stanley is the most annoyingly difficult horse to win with. It's just beyond the joke now at this stage.
Him and Cocoa Beach, Tom, you're going to be waiting for a long time for them to win a race.
Yeah, Cocoa Beach, I'm gone off him. Still, if you run a race, I wouldn't be backing him win only, put it that way.
He's a bit of a spoofer now, isn't he? He's kind of out there. He looks like a pig, not a pig, but he looks like he'll always find one too good for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to exactly get his head in front of him.
No, I backed him the last day when I can't remember what it was, where he looked like he was going to win the whole way up the straight, and then he just got done by someone.
The fences are out. I'm going to save this last one for my performance of the week, actually. So whenever we get to that, I'll mention the last one I want to mention.
There's one I actually took out of the weekend. Now, we went off 4-9, but it fell at the first at Fairyhouse. Humdor, Willie Mullins' horse.
That was the other one. Fact's sake. He was going to bolt up. He's a very, very smart horse. Yeah,
he could play a hand at the bloody, what's it called? What? Cheltenham, yeah, that one. Yeah. To Ballymore. What the fuck am I talking about? Someone else talk quick. My head is gone.
Can you pronounce the winner of that race, Andrew?
Of what?
The race that Humdor fell in.
Whoa. Tiapu?
Tiapu. We were close.
Close. Tiapu. Yeah, but I think Humdor is going to be very, very good.
He'll probably win the Boodles, I'd say, yeah. He looks like that's where he's going anyway.
I know it was our race as well, so we're probably a little bit biased, but Rosie's Hollow is a lovely mare, lads.
She picked up well, didn't she?
Yeah.
So was Shauna.
Yeah. She is. But yeah, it looks like Rosie's Hollow came on a lot from last day. I'm just wondering what price she is. Jesus.
Well, go on, tell us.
33-1.
For the mares?
Yeah. Now, whether that's the plan or not, I'm not sure. I'd have to read the race report again, but there's worse 33-1 bets out there than that anyway. She's a nice mare now.
The thing that won the bumper looked like an aeroplane.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Dave, shut up until we get to the end.
Oh,
you ruined it.
Okay, Tom.
So, Tom, your performance of the weekend is
Jerry Colombe. Gordon Elliott, who won the bumper on Saturday. Sorry, guys, this is hilarious. Siobhan isn't with me. She's obviously at home. And she texts me as soon as I haven't talked to her in a few hours. She texted me to start the podcast and was like, "Hi." And I haven't wrote back to her. And the messages are now like, "Are you okay? Are you not talking to me?"
Sorry, you're telling me she's not watching?
You there? Question mark. I wouldn't mind have a podcast 8 o'clock on a Sunday every week. I went round to my nan as well. I was like, because my nan is liable to walk in and be like, Thomas. And I was like, "No, I got a podcast." So, I'd just be an hour or so. And she said to me, "What?" I said, "A podcast. You know the thing I do with Andrew and Dave on YouTube, the finishing line?" "No, what's that?"
Oh, no.
My nan is clearly not a listener.
Oh, my God.
So I had to explain it to her. But no, Jerry Colombe absolutely bolted up. What impressed me was Jamie Codd got after him early enough in the straight. And it looked like it was maybe only going to win a few lengths. But my God, the more he kept pushing, the more this horse went away and the faster it got. I don't know what their plans are. I don't know what Rob Corr's policy is going to be on the champion bumper my thing. I wouldn't be in a mad rush to run a horse in the champion bumper, to be honest.
Yeah.
Stupid race.
It is a stupid race.
Well, it depends on the horse. If you flat bred horse who's going to bolt up in a bumper and you're thinking, yeah, lovely, I'll go run that. But if you've bought a horse for a lot of money and you're thinking this is a 3 mile staying chaser, but it has a bit of speed, there's no way I'd be running in the champion bumper. But I don't know what their plan is, but by God, he's a good horse.
Yeah, I think it was you I text after the race and said, "Did you see that thing in the bumper? He's going to be very, very good."
Yeah, I'd say he's there. And backs like he's very good as well. There's sustained support for him. So. Yeah, that was my performance of the week anyway. I think he's a hugely exciting horse.
Dave, what was yours?
Performance of the week?
Yeah.
Probably the real deal. I just can't understand how much he's improved, and the fact that I think the race was run to suit the closers because the 3 at the back finished first, second, and third. But to win like he did, like head in his chest, and he didn't even see the whip or anything. He's definitely a Grade 1 horse. Be interesting to see where he goes at Cheltenham, but I thought he was really impressive. Yeah. And I backed Gavinati, so I thought I was going to collect, and I did not.
Mine has to be the Next Destination. I just like the way he jumped for a novice, the way he answered Harry Cobden's call every single time. Always liked him as a hurdler. I just think he's going to be a good stay and chase for the next 2-3 years. I know he's 9 now, but yeah, he's one I liked. And Humdor, even though he fell, I thought he was going to put up an unbelievable performance. So there are 2 that I liked the weekend.
Robbie put in a question there, and I was actually going to ask you tomorrow this.
I see. This one?
I've just seen this. I read the question first. I went, that's a good question. And then I read who wrote it. I couldn't believe it. I
was actually going to ask Andrew this yesterday. Obviously,
so the question is for people listening on Spotify or anything like that. It's, will Puppy Power get the ride on Bob Ollinger, seeing as he has arrangements with Robcore?
Yeah, what's the story there? And with Rachel will she still be on the Henry horses, or do you know, or what's the story?
Jesus,
I imagine Rachel will keep the ride.
Yeah, I'd agree with Tom there. I'd imagine she'd keep the ride on Henry's ones. I see any other rides outside that Rachel's not on, I'd say he'll get. I'd nearly be 100% sure she'll be riding, because she could do all the work at home with him, and she's ridden him on the track already.
Yeah, well, he definitely he was riding Teupo yesterday, and Rachel was on the second string. She was on the second string for them colours, so. But you'd be surprised if she didn't get the Henry horses, seeing as she knows what's going on down there. So
I'd be disappointed now if she didn't. I'd rather her on him now than Robbie.
Yeah, well, she knows him now at this stage, so.
What do you reckon, Tom?
Yeah, I imagine she will keep the ride. I think I'm just trying to back this up with a few stats here. Season, time period, or last season.
Dave, did you miss Night Nurse? Oh, stop. I'm usually in bed by now.
Yeah, your bedtimes are going to get earlier and earlier now.
No, I was up till 12 o'clock last night. I was sleeping great. Like, one of the main symptoms I had, like, was I couldn't sleep. I literally couldn't sleep, like. But sure, when I was lying down, I didn't know there was fucking fluid and blood in my lungs that was stopping me breathing.
It's not ideal, really, is it?
Actually, I texted Kubo yesterday. I shout out to Kubo because in the middle of November, we done a podcast, and he texted me and he said, "There's something wrong with you. You need to go back to the doctor. You don't look right." And from then on, I went downhill and managed to get a bit of answers and ended up in hospital. So, thanks for trying to keep me alive.
No, not like I've been saying it to you for the last 6 months, though. No,
I don't listen to you, though.
I know you don't. Literally said it to nearly every week. Well, you want to stop. You'd want to stop. Go see someone. Oh, yeah, win next week.
Just looking at this, guys. So I will go with this season first, even though this is a little bit skewed because Robbie's been in England for most of it. But Robbie Powers had 27 rides and 8 winners for Robcore. Rachel Blackmore has had 37 rides and 8 winners for Robcore. And then it's Dara O'Keefe for 17 rides. And then everyone else is kind of 1 or a few more. So if you go back to the season before then, which is probably the best one to look at, I'd say, Rachel had 22 rides and 3 winners, and Robbie had 36 rides and 6 winners. And then the next clearest is 4 rides, 1 ride, 2 rides. So I imagine she rode plenty for them before, so I would imagine she will keep the ride on him. She will keep the ride on him, yeah.
I can't see her getting chalked off. If it was anyone else, yeah, probably. But not Rachel's not going to get chalked off that.
Yeah, she's too good, really, isn't she?
She's savage, yeah.
She's the best around now. Bar when Davey comes back.
If she happens to be watching the podcast, Rachel, I wonder how likely that is. But she, Pat Healy took a really good picture of her in our colours on Saturday. So just thanks a million for doing that. It was very kind of you. So.
Oh, the one you sent us. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. She posed. We'll put it. We're going to buy it off Pat, and then we'll put it on our website and social media. But she's posing in our colours in the parade ring, which is really cool.
Smiling behind the mask, as you can tell.
She was thinking, "What on earth is going on here?"
What am I going to sit on now?
So Dan's just asked a question there. Second one from the bottom.
Who?
Big Toe Dan 50.
Great name.
He asked, will Andrew be back on the show as well before that?
Yeah. We get him on again.
So for those listening who aren't watching this on YouTube, 1, why aren't you watching on YouTube? 2, the question was who's the best tipster out of the 3 of you? It's obviously me. So
obviously me.
I would say I'm the best through the summer months on the flat. I prefer the jumps, but I'm not as good as the 2 lads at the jumps.
You can have that shot in the flat, Dave. I don't
like it.
I've actually just on a bit of betting stuff now, and we spoke about it over lockdown before, about gambling and stuff. I've actually stopped betting since like Christmas. It's fantastic. I have so much time to do other stuff. It's unbelievable. I'm just so busy, and I'm not putting enough time into it. That's why I stopped betting.
If you don't have the time to look through the cards and do it properly, there's not much point really.
But I'm enjoying it so much more. I tune in for the big races. If I've got a bit of time, I'll watch the other races. And really, I'm enjoying it. I'd recommend it actually. And I'd never have said that. I've never taken a prolonged break from gambling before. So.
The key is to keep yourself busy.
I generally, after the Dublin Racing Festival, Tom, I'd stop kind of betting till Cheltenham then, so I'd take those few weeks off. There's really nothing in between to be looking at, so I save a bit of money that I'd be spending week to week and put it away for Cheltenham. So, like,
there's only really the Cheltenham Festival trials and Dublin Racing Festival left before Cheltenham. The rest of them is just Mickey Mouse races.
Andrew's sister said that Andrew is the best tipster.
Yes, I am correct.
I was about to say, is that his mom?
There it is. Proof. Andrew best. Yeah, that's true. Well done on it.
Good one. If you can't rely on your sister, who can you rely on, eh?
No, my other sister probably say I'm the fucking worst.
But, what was I going to say? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm taking a break now to Cheltenham, and I look forward to that. But,
I've been kind of not betting as much as well now since Monday, really. Fucking up my eyeballs with the website and shit, so it is good.
Since Sunday at 2:30.
Since Aqueduct finished yesterday.
Andrew stuck a dagger through my heart yesterday. The day I came home Friday. I was talking about like the money I have saved for Cheltenham and Punchestown, and he went, "Oh, so you're spending it all the week at Cheltenham then?" ... Punchestown's not going to go ahead. Yeah. Like as in us going there again. I was like, why are you doing this again? Like,
sorry,
it's really not going to go. Or there's going to be nobody at that again. Like,
no, I'm the biggest optimist in the world, and it's not happening.
You think every horse I buy is going to go to Cheltenham?
Tom, I'm trying to sell you horses, and you're just trying to make them. Leave me sell horses here.
Every horse, Cheltenham.
Cheltenham.
If he says it about every
Cheltenham.
if he says it about every horse, the one that does go to Cheltenham, he's going to go. See, I told you that one to go to Cheltenham.
I cover all bases, Dave. And when you get a flat horse, right, Ascot.
That's actually an angle we were talking about the other day. Is trying to find one in France that has high enough rating to get into Royal Ascot that you still think has got a bit of juice. Like, there's no point in going buying someone just to run there. There's no crack in that. But something that you think has got a bit of value in its mark but could go to Royal Ascot.
Like Shauna.
She's gonna have to be next Princess Zoe to do that.
You have to give me more animation there now.
Yeah. But I'm doing something else next month as well. And I signed up for it yesterday. And it's actually for the Matter Foundation, Dave, which just happens to be for them. But it's walk or run 100 miles in a month. And it's for the month of February. You get a T-shirt and you get a fundraising page on Facebook. So I'll be hitting everyone up. But I just said, why not? It's a good idea.
What would you have to average out a day then to do
that? 3 miles. Just over 3 miles. Yeah.
It's hard to do that every day though, Andrew. Like, you thinking that's all. Like, it get monotonous and you'd have to plan it out a little bit and stuff. It's
Dave, I do double that running around after Robin every day.
It's true enough.
You have to do it in one go. But I thought that's something to do for lockdown. As if you're looking for something to do, go out and do something like that, like a challenge.
You know what? I think I might do something like that because I do be bored off my skull halfway through the day.
We should do it, Andrew.
Yeah, send me on the link for it.
It's for the Matter Foundation as well, so we've got our own little Matter patient here as well. So
I do have a plan of doing something now. Like I said at the start there, I won't know exactly where I stand in regards going back training for a long time. But when I do know kind of what I can do and stuff, I'm going to do some sort of a challenge as well. Like, there's a possibility I could get back to the level I was, but it's probably more likely or maybe like 60-70% of that. So I'll make a plan then, but it would be something I'd like to incorporate the podcast into as well, and then raise money for something like the Matter Foundation. But because of the health problems that I went through, I'd like to complete some sort of challenge then when I'm fit and able to do so as well. And that means the 2 year doing something as well.
And if it involves you, and I said it, I texted you this already during the week, and I'll say it here for everyone else so it's on record. If I catch you trying to walk on your hands, doing handstand push-ups, doing stupid things on the ring, I will uppercut you with a 20 kg bloody dumbbell, kettlebell, whatever, slam ball. I'll put you on the ground and I'll throw it on your head. I tell you now, if I catch you doing anything like that, I'm going to absolutely deck you.
He loves me, really.
Yeah, Dave, we'll have to get fit. Well, I'll have to get fit, and we'll do something like that.
I'm not getting fit.
So this one,
done that. I'm not doing it again.
I saw it on Facebook, and I said, "Oh, that'd be all right, wouldn't it?" And I said, "Oh, 100 miles is a lot now." And then
see the comment there when Tom said he was doing that. Someone wrote in, "Jesus, Dave could do that, and he has Goshen's heart." Oh my God!
By the sounds of how Dave walked around the park today.
Very much so.
But when I clicked on the link, lads, I was like, "Oh, will I? Oh, that's a lot." And then there was a guy. The first post on it was a guy in a wheelchair doing it. So I said, "Right, well, you've no excuse." So
for fuck's sake, I have to do it now, don't I?
Signed up there and then. I said, "If that guy's doing it, fair play to him." So yeah.
I'm proud of you, Tom.
That's in lockdown. A little challenge like that, keep your mind going, something to do every day or every second day.
Yeah, we make it a little challenge between ourselves for a crack. When's starting? February?
Yeah, February. For the month of February, you have to walk 100 miles in the month.
Consider it done.
I'll do a few walks with Andrew. We'll bring the old dog.
Sorry, you can't keep up with me anymore.
I'll be slow, so you'll have to slow down.
Push chair, Andrew, for the kids.
Have I what?
Have you got a push chair for the kids?
For one of them, yeah.
Yeah, you could put Dave in it and walk him around. And should do it.
You know what? My head is still the same size, but the rest of me is either getting really small, so I probably fit in the buggy, I'd say.
The rest of it's got really small. That's a shame.
That's fine.
Just in case Rachel is watching.
Hasn't worked in 3 weeks, but it's there. On that note, will we wrap it up? Tom, my Pimlico pen's at the breaking. I want another one. Look.
Why? What happened to it?
The thing fell off it.
What? How did? Oh, the clip. Oh, that's your own fault. Now I've used these for a few months and none of mine. Were you playing? Were you playing with it?
No.
Yeah, exactly. It's your own fault.
Damn it.
This pen will break if I pull it hard enough.
Hey, the bottle opener works great though.
Yeah, they're good.
Too fucking good, I'd say.
Oh, I have to make sure it works on every bottle. I'm like field testing it, how many bottles I can open without a break, and it's going well so far. I think I'm on like.
When I came back here Friday evening, the Tuesday before the Wednesday, I went into the hospital. I was given a crate of cans of Guinness, which I was going to bring into Andrew's house. So 24 cans. Yes. Someone else gave me cans, so there's 4 cans in the back of the car, 2 bottles of gin. Tom hooked us up with a serious nice bottle of whiskey as well.
Oh, that's for the day Shauna wins.
Right, and I found a bottle of cider that I wanted to try in the shop on the Tuesday night. That was in the fridge. Didn't get to drink any of them because they were here on the Tuesday. And I was in hospital on the Wednesday, and that was the end of that.
I bought that whiskey round to you, and you were in hospital like a couple of days later.
I know, yeah.
What's the story with you? Can you even drink anymore?
I'm kind of technically on a fluid restriction, but yeah, I can drink, but like I wouldn't really be able to anyway. So it made me too tired. So
that's a shame.
I will like the week of Cheltenham, I'll have a drink or two, but like. It's not going to be for the foreseeable. It's not going to be like it was anyway. I kind of sound like I'm an alcoholic there now, but that's not the way it was. But
hello, my name is Dave, and I'm a recovering alcoholic.
I can do everything, but it's just like at a slower pace. You when you see me walking, you laugh at me. It is what it is.
I laugh at you anyway. It's all the same. I'll keep you back down there. Don't worry.
We'll get there again.
Hoover is back next weekend.
He is.
I'm looking forward to that, actually.
Hopefully he runs well.
Yeah.
I see what
rule him out just yet.
No, if he runs a decent race now, like how fit is he going to be is the thing now. Look, it's not like he had a muscle injury or anything like that. He got stabbed in the foot, more or less.
Yeah, no, that should be interesting. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to Wednesday's show.
Yeah. There's a decent 2-horse race tomorrow. Who is it? Oh, Dom de Campion is making her chase debut tomorrow. That's who it is. She's going up against Cornerstone Lad, the lad who beat Bouvardier in the fighting fifth. So that'll be a decent little 2-runner race. Yeah, look, we're waffling on there, so we'll wrap it up now. We're back as always Wednesday with another weekend preview and as well with our Cheltenham Festival anti-post tips. Excuse me. So yeah, we are back Wednesday, and again, lads, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Give the channel a like, subscribe, keep commenting, and comment below with your best performance of the weekend. And we'll be back on Wednesday with another weekend preview.